morning, YouTube. I hope you guys are doing well today. Whew, morning here. Hope I'm not looking too rough. I woke up not too long ago. Um, I got some things I got to do today, so I'm gonna have a busy day. And I want to make this video just to give a bit of encouragement. Now, first of all, what I want to do is welcome all of you who are new to my channel. I appreciate your support, all your subscriptions. I just got a new wave of a bunch of subscribers. Um, I haven't made like many videos lately as far as like these type of videos and some other videos other than level ups, but yeah, I'll be making more of those soon. I'm just being a little busy, but again, thanks you guys for subscribing. And if you guys have any questions, just contact me. My email, I will provide my email in the description area, and also just ask me something in the comment section. Now, I normally have a Q&A video, which I think the last one I made was like several weeks ago. So if you ever have any questions, just go to like my latest Q&A video and post your question there, and I will answer it in the next Q&A video. So that's that, and let's go ahead and get started on today's topic. So I want to talk about a little bit, just pretty much give some encouragement, like wanting to give up. Okay, and this is applying to language learning. I mean, it could be applied to many things, but mainly I'm focusing on language learning, since this channel is mainly about languages, and this is something very important, especially for those who are learning a language or for the first time and they haven't had any experience learning. So I would say I would consider myself highly qualified to talk about this because, you know, my experience, and I know how it feels to want to give up due to difficulties. So if you're an experienced language learner, you wouldn't really go through this mode, since you have that experience learning language. You know how much it takes, how much time it takes, you know how much effort it takes, and whatnot. Now, if you're a complete beginner and you're starting a language, I would say, like, especially if it's a language that's very different from your own language, your mother tongue. If it's difficult, let's just say, for example, you wanted to learn something like Georgian and you're a native English speaker, okay? Um, you will find that that language is difficult, mainly due to the grammar, the difference, the huge difference in grammar. If you're motivated, which is a good thing, you shouldn't really get to the point to where you want to stop learning the language. However, even if you are motivated, you still will feel a little bit of, oh wow, this is overwhelming. Maybe this language isn't for me. Maybe I should choose a different language. That could happen. That could possibly happen. Now, when you're in that situation, it's like you don't see the light at the end of the tunnel. You don't think it's going to be possible for you to learn that language due to how difficult it is. I'm gonna give you some things, and many of you will probably be able to recognize these. So when it's difficult, one of the things that happens when it's difficult, when learning language is difficult, is remembering things. Okay, let's say you meet with your partner. Okay, you're practicing with him or her, and you learn something new. Your partner asks you something in that language, and you forget. You don't even understand, although it was something that you learned maybe yesterday, or he told you yesterday. When they ask you again today, and you like, oh, what did you say? And they repeat it, and they say, oh, we just learned that. That's very common, and that's not something that you need to get like uptight about, you know, because I know you will feel that, wow, I can't even remember this. This is so disheartening. It's demotivating. I don't know if I could do this. Languages is not for me. You need to keep going because this is a normal thing. You know, even for myself, I'm experienced. But when I learn a new language, especially if it's different, it takes time to learn. It takes time for the vocabulary and phrases or whatever to stick, and they only do that by being in a repetitive state, practicing over and over again. Okay, so don't feel that it's you personally because you don't have a talent for learning language. It's not that. It's just it's normal for everybody. You're not going to remember. You're going to learn something, then you're going to forget it. You're going to learn it and forget it. You learn and forget it, and eventually you will remember it. Okay, just remember that. Okay, I just got to keep going. I won't let this bother me. It's not me. Okay, it's not you. So like I said, even me as an experienced language learner, I find myself going through this because I got to do it all over again. I got to start over. I got to start the repetitive process over again. Okay. Um, it's funny. I use Georgian because Georgian is one of my active languages right now, and I meet with a guy. And yeah, I touched Georgian before, but it wasn't like really serious. I dabbled with Russian. I mean, not Russian. I dabbled with Georgian before, but now I find myself when I'm practicing with the guy I practice, I'm making progress, of course, but there are times when like I can't understand. It's hard to understand certain things, and even there's some things things that I learned before. He would say them to me, and I wouldn't really catch them or understand them because I'm not used to them. I haven't gotten enough um, repetitive practice with what we're like whatever it was that I had learned. Okay, then I found that like my certain other things, my comprehension has gotten better significantly, and I meet with this guy like 4 times a week. So that's another thing you have to keep in mind. Keep in mind that when you're meeting with a partner and you're doing this with someone, you have to at least meet with that person 4 times a week. That's very important as a beginner. Now, if you're like into the language, you have experience, like say like you're intermediate, around there, then you can like decrease the number of days you have to meet with an instructor or a partner. Okay, because you're there. You pretty much can speak the language, but you just need to you need to learn more vocabulary, more expressions, and what have you. So keep that in mind. Meeting with someone frequently is very important. So back to what I was saying about myself in the Georgian, I found that like when I first started meeting with this guy, it was like really, really difficult because I didn't have that much experience with Georgian. I didn't have that much experience interacting with native speakers, and that can cause a problem when you don't have that experience when it comes to trying to understand something. So, I didn't feel like I wanted to give up because I don't give up. Like, the only way for me to give up in the language is if I can't really use the language and it's just like sitting there like, oh, I'm not even able to use this. I can't practice with anyone. That's what will cause me to give up on the language. But as far as the difficulty, I know how I have high endurance. My endurance level is very high. I know how to tolerate the difficulties because I know in my mind, I know how much time it takes. I know the effort it takes when it comes to learn certain things. So yeah, for the Georgian, I had a hard time trying to understand certain things, and it was very difficult. And you can feel it. Like at the end of the session, it feels like you were in the gym. Like at least I felt like I was in the gym. Like I worked out hard. I'm not, I don't sweat or anything, but I can really feel the pressure after the lesson. And to me, that's good. Like when I go to the gym, I like that feeling, like that tired feeling, that tiredness and that soreness. I love that. It feels great. It feels great because I know that I did something right. If I come out of the gym, I don't feel anything like that, then I know that wow, I didn't work out hard enough. I don't feel it. If I don't, especially if I don't feel that pain, the next thing, like, dang, what did I do yesterday? I didn't do anything. I don't feel any pain. Same thing with language learning. You have to feel pressure. Now, yeah, I always say that learning a language is very, it's fun, it's exciting and all that stuff. And some people say, well, it's not supposed to be fun. It's difficult. It's supposed to be stressful. I mean, it doesn't have to be stressful. You can make it fun, but at the same time, you want to feel pressure. You want to feel some pressure, and if you're not feeling that pressure, then you're not really, something you're not doing right. Okay, so if you just remind yourself, if you feel that pressure, to say, okay, it's difficult, but it's getting somewhere. It's getting somewhere, and just keep going, keep going. Don't just be like, all right, this is not for me. I'm not getting it. I'm just, I don't think this is for me. I'm going to stop learning because I'm not getting it right away. You're not going to get it right away. It's not going to happen. Okay, it's not going to happen. You have to put the time in. You have to practice very often, and then the time that you put the time in, and your efforts will pay off. You just got to put that time in. You know, time is everything. You know, just like you're going to work a job or something, you ain't getting paid, so you got to put them hours in. That's how it works. Gym, you got to put them hours in. Everything it's the same concept. But the pressure is what makes people give up. The pressure is what people hate to endure. Cause them to give up, cause them to switch languages and whatnot. You don't want to do that because it's very high rewarding, and it's a very great feeling of achievement when you have gotten to the point to where you're used to everything. You can actually have a conversation with someone, even if you're not completely fluent in the language. If you're not completely fluent in the language, you still going to feel some sense of achievement, success, because you can have some conversation with someone. You can understand stuff, and they can understand you. That's already motivational right there. So I'll give you some advice of what you can do. That's just the mental part. Now, what I would do when you start off in a language, make sure you have interaction with native speakers. You have to. Why? You can do it by yourself, but make sure you have some interaction with some native speakers, because when you have interaction with native speakers, you're able to see your progress. And when you can see some progress, that's motivating. That encourages you to keep going. Now, if you're just learning at home and you're reading and stuff and you're not practicing with anyone, it's hard to see your progress. It's really hard. I mean, if you're learning how to read, learning alphabet, days go by, weeks go by, and you're able, oh, I read this, I can read this, it's good, it's good. I mean, that's some sense of achievement there, but it's even more powerful when you practice and have interaction with native speakers. Like, for example, level up videos that I make. Now, I'm pretty sure, seeing that those are my most popular videos on this channel, I'm pretty sure you guys know what I'm talking about. It doesn't matter if you're a beginner. If you're a beginner, you know a couple words. If you keep doing that, if you have that interaction with native speakers, it's very motivating. Because like I said, they can understand you. You can understand them. It's basic. And it encourages you to go do it again. It encourages you to go back home in the lab to practice more, to learn more. You need to have something that will keep that spark going. You need that. It's very important. Even chat rooms, going to chat rooms is effective. Even if you don't go out and level up with someone outside your house, when you go to chat rooms and practice with the people, you're able to get some sense of progress when you practice with them. Okay, trust me, I know what I'm talking about because I've done it so many times and I'll still do it. So make sure you have interaction with the native speaker. Use some chat rooms. Now, I know a lot of people are new here to this channel, so I'll recommend some place. Right now, I would say the best place to practice foreign languages at is HELLOTALK. You can't go wrong with HELLOTALK. They have some other places, but right now, HELLOTALK is probably the best place. If you're not familiar with HELLOTALK, I post there's a link in the description. You can go there and check it out. It's for both Android and iPhone. It's a free application. You don't have to purchase any monthly descriptions or whatever. However, if you want to list like more than one language, you want to do multiple languages, I know that they charge you for that. It's like really not that expensive though, but it's free for everyone. Check that out, HELLOTALK. Okay. um, and like I said, they have some other programs you could use online, but HELLOTALK is probably the best. That's the only one that I use uh, more frequently than others. Um, and yeah, in your area, whatever city you live in, search for restaurants, search for markets. Okay, this is something that I like to do when I go out and level up. I like to search for markets. I like to search for restaurants. If you're not trying to buy food or whatever, then just look for marketplaces. Look for markets. But you know, Any place is good. Any place is good. Just make sure you have some money when you go. And when you buy something, if you go to a restaurant, it's good too, because you know you're sitting there and they say, oh, eat, you know, it's like they will talk to you. It's like they feel that they will talk to you more. They will talk to you more. So search for places in your area where you can practice. Go to universities. I forgot about that. Those are places that I have to go to more often. Universities, restaurants, markets, grocery, all those places. Do a search on those. And when you go to these places and talk to these people, ask them about other places. Like if you're learning Ukrainian, you go to a Ukrainian market, ask them, hey, where can I practice more Ukrainian? They'll give you some more information. Practicing at a church, you know, practicing at a university or school, whatever. Get that information. That information is important because, like I said, when you learn this, when you get on this language learning journey, you need this interaction with native speakers. You have to have it. Is it possible to learn language on your own? Yes, it is. I mean, you can learn language on your own, but it's going to be a cutoff point because if you're not using it, interacting with anyone, then it's going to be limited. It's going to stop. You're not going to be able to progress. And then you're doing all this studying at home. You're doing all this reading at home, all this grammar stuff. And then once you get in front of this person and you try to interact with them, it's like, wow, it's going to show you that you don't, it's going to show you how much you really know. That's the experience that you have to have. You have to have experience so they can remind you that, wow, I still got to put work in. You know, you be all arrogant and cocky. You get out there thinking that you about to tear something up, and then you get shut down real quick. That'll hurt you. That'll hurt you. So yeah, I just want to talk about that. I hope I don't mean to be sounding like I'm rambling or anything, but I'm just trying to give some encouragement, especially for those who are new to the channel, because this is very important. Um, we have some other language learners on YouTube who you can watch. I mean, a lot of people are very encouraging, and I think it's very important to get different perspectives from different people. You know how they view certain things. But I think you know despite the fact that we all have our own like beliefs on certain things, I think one common thing that we agree with is doing certain things to stay motivated, because that's the key to continue learning the language. Staying motivated. You have to do something. It doesn't matter what it is, you know. Even if I don't agree with it, if we don't agree with it, you know, if it keeps you motivated, keeps you going, you have to do that, because that's the key to getting this progress. You will see true progress as more time goes by, because it's a time thing. Okay, not a week, not 1 month or whatever. I mean, you can learn a lot within that time, but the more time you put in, the more progress you will have made. So you have practice, you have this time, all of that. Study, practice, time, study, practice, time, all that stuff. All that stuff go hand in hand. So just keep that in mind. So again, if you guys have any questions, just send me a message, send me an email. Mouse 55,000. I'll provide that in the description area. And I think that is it. Like I said, I just want to give some advice, just share some things with you, and just keep going, because learning a language is beautiful, and this is something that I believe that everyone should experience. So I wish you guys the best in your language learning, and I look forward to seeing your comments. Thanks for viewing. You guys have a great day. Peace.